Okay, everybody, we are back after an unsuccessful game of Family Feud for the Sega Genesis. Let's hope my luck goes good in Jeopardy for the Sega Genesis that you see in my hand right here. And Patrick and Crystal, join me once again.
Yep. Hello.
Hello.
Hello there. Here we go, Jeopardy. It's a Jeopardy Jeopardy. Based on the television production produced by Merv Griffin Enterprises in 1992.
Jeopardy.
And here we go. On the Jeopardy round. Taking on Jane and John, two J's. Here we go. Dollar figures are in place. We have one daily double on the board in one of these categories.
Here are the categories.
Word origins, blood, U.S. landmarks, kids' books, classical music, and finally, famous quotes. Alright. And I've earned the right to go first. Word origins for 100. This word for bullfighter comes from the Spanish word for to kill. What is a matador?
That's what I was about to say.
Great minds think alike.
You are correct.
And it's worth $100. I'll take word origins for 200. The slang word bodacious was created by blending bold and this word. What is audacious?
You are correct.
Yeah. Word origins for 300. Capricorn comes from capri, meaning goat, and cornu, meaning this part of the goat. What is the horn?
You are correct.
The horn is correct. I'll take word origins for 400. From the old phrase, alack the day, came this adjective for lacking spirit. Alack the day. Jane rings in. Lackadaisical.
You are correct.
Yep. So Jane answered that one correctly, and she'll make the next selection. Kids' books for 100. Walter Farley series about an ebony equine. What is Black Beauty?
You are correct.
There we go. Kids' books for 200. Ew, where are your manners?
Down. Your toilet into your sewer.
I'll get my janitor to clean my toilet then. Pen name for Theodore Geisel.
Who is Dr. Seuss?
Exactly what I was about to say. What is Dr. Seuss?
You are correct.
Alright. I'll take kids' books for 300, please. Reading his saga could become a hobbit. Who is J.R.R. Tolkien?
You are correct.
Kids' books for 400. She's Carolyn Keene's sleuthing teen. Who is Nancy Drew?
You are correct.
Kids' books for 500. She blossomed into adult literature with Wifey in 1978. Who is Judy Blume? That's going to get me up to $2,100. 2100. Okay. Let's close out the word origins for 500, please. Preservation technique whose name comes from the Greek words for arrangement and skin. What is dermatology?
Sorry.
No, so I lose $500.
Wrong.
That's alright. Jane rings in. Oh, taxidermy!
You are correct.
Oh, derp. Derp, 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 derp. Blood for 100. A strike breaker or a blood clot on the surface of one's skin. What is a... Let's see, a strike breaker or a blood clot on the surface of one's skin? What is a... bruise?
Sorry.
No.
Wrong.
Dang it. But I'm still leading with 1,500. That's the main thing. Does Jane know? Oh, a scab! I was close. It was a scab. We're moving on. Blood for 200. And she finds the daily double. I know she's going to wager 500.
It's gonna be wrong.
Let's find out. Here's the clue. The 4 blood types are A, B, and this. She got it. It's O. She's tied with me for the lead.
Yeah, I even knew it.
Famous quotes for 100. According to Reader's Digest, it's the best medicine. What is laughter? Something Patrick and I have a lot of on Skype. Especially with his burps, belches, and farts. There's your proof. And we even have more laughs when he says his manners are...
Down your toilet, please.
You almost said down your toilet!
Do it.
You almost said down your toilet. Famous quotes 200. Alexander Pope said, "It springs eternal in the human breast." What is hope?
You are correct.
Famous quotes for 300.
Yeah, correct.
Stuffy British monarch who said, when she saw herself imitated, "We are not amused." Who is Queen Elizabeth?
Sorry.
No, it's Queen Victoria, probably.
Wrong.
Once again, there's a tie for the lead. Jane rings in. She'll drop into second place!
Wrong.
John rings in. And he'll go in the hole!
Sorry. Wrong.
Was it Queen Victoria?
No, the correct response.
It sure was Queen Victoria. Oh well. Famous quotes for 400. In Trees, he claimed that poems are made by fools like me. Who is Joyce Kilmer?
You are correct.
There we go. Famous quotes for 500. This is the 4th? Asked this Virginia patriot just before dying on July 4th, 1826. Who was Thomas Jefferson? By the way, Patrick, I got a little song for those computer players. Wrong, 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 wrong.
You are correct.
This is what they are, but I'm right. I got a 2,400. Ugh, even though it gives me the hibby-jibbies, blood for 300. When blood leaves the heart, it's pumped to this organ where it picks up oxygen. What are the lungs? No, no. What is the... Let's say what is the brain instead. Derp, I got it wrong. Wrong, 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 wrong. Does John know it? Oh, the lungs!
You are correct.
My first hunch was right! Oh well. Blood 400. A person studies at least 4 years becoming this doctor of blood. What is a...
Sorry.
John doesn't know! I'll say what is a... I'm gonna say what is a herpetologist.
Sorry.
And I'm wrong too.
Wrong! Guess what?
What?
No! I'm away!
Well, Jane rings in at the last second. Oh, hematologist!
You are correct.
Dang it. Let's move on. U.S. landmarks 100. Many people carry a torch for this statue, which was 100 years old in 1986. Patrick is going to get me if I do not say what is the Statue of Liberty. Being the fact that Patrick is from New York.
You are correct.
U.S. landmarks 200. There were no successful escapes from this rock in San Francisco Bay. What is Alcatraz?
You are correct.
Yep. I'll go with U.S. landmarks for 3. A serviceman from this war was interred in the Tomb of the Unknowns, May 28th, 1984. I will say, what is the Vietnam War?
You are correct.
Yep. U.S. landmarks for 400. Plays are still performed at this site of Lincoln's assassination. What is Ford Theater?
You are correct.
U.S. landmarks for 500. At 555 feet 5 inches, it's the world's tallest all-stone structure. What is the Lincoln Memorial? Or is it the Washington Monument? No, I'm going to change my mind and say, what is the Washington Monument? I have it between two. I'll say, what is the Washington Monument instead?
You are correct.
And I'm glad I did, because it's the right one. Let's finish the blood category. Septicemia and Supremia are 2 types of it. What is blood disease?
Sorry.
And I got it wrong.
Yikes!
But just so you know, Patrick, I didn't get it wrong on purpose. Does Jane know it? No!
Sorry.
Don't! John rings in. Oh, blood poisoning!
You are correct.
He's out of the hole and he's got a little bit of some money. He's got $100. Now we just have classical music. Schubert's Incomplete Orchestral Sonata. What is the Unfinished Symphony? Hopefully when a computer player gets another answer wrong and we hear the buzz noise, we'll hear Homer go, "Oh, why me?"
You are correct.
200. Musical accessory whose parts are the stick, head, hair, frog, and screw. What is a violin bow?
You are correct.
300. Inspired by paintings, Mussorgsky composed pictures at one of these. John rings in. An exhibition.
You are correct.
400. Considered the greatest violinist of all time, he could play a whole piece on one string. Jane rings in. Who was Paganini?
You are correct.
Now the last clue. Sacred opera. John rings in. Back in the hole!
Sorry.
Oh, why me? You said it, numbers.
Well, Jane rings in. Oh, it's oratorio.
You are correct.
So at the end of the Jeopardy round, she goes to 2,000. I have 3,000. John has minus 100. Let's go ahead and get underway as we begin
Double Jeopardy.
with 2 daily doubles on the board and 6 brand new categories.
Here are the categories.
Language, psychology, bare facts, conquerors, science, and finally, parks. Okay, here we go. I get to start. Language for 200. Languages, rather. For 200. The Flemish language of Flanders, Belgium, is actually this language. What is French?
Sorry.
What? Oh, why me? John rings in. Oh, Dutch!
You are correct.
Oh! So John has $100 right now. Parks for 200. This Boston park where young Ben Franklin graced the family cow is America's oldest. What is Boston Common?
You are correct.
Yes, of course. I'll go with Parks for 400. Baseball's first ever All-Star game was played in 1933 in this Chicago stadium. What is Wrigley Field?
Sorry.
What?
Was probably Berkeley Field.
Well, if it's not Wrigley Field, then what is it? Jane rings in.
I don't think it existed back then.
Oh, Comiskey Park.
You are correct.
Comiskey Park. Alright. Psychology for 200. A bad one is biting your fingernails. A good one is calling mom once a week. What is a habit?
You are correct.
2,800. I'll go with psychology for 400. This type of trait is the opposite of a dominant one. What is recessive?
You are correct.
I'll go with psychology for 600. One who suffers from periods of depression alternating with periods of extreme excitement. John. Doesn't know!
Sorry.
And Jane rings in. She doesn't know either!
Sorry.
Well, I don't know, so I'm not going to ring in.
You know the correct.
Oh, a manic depressive. Okay. Psychology for 800. The common name for somnambulism. What is sleepwalking? Where are your manners?
Down for it. It's too
You are
wrong.
correct.
Oh, why me? Psychology for 1,000. Daily double. I'm feeling pretty good about this one, so I'm going to bet the farm. The ego resolves conflicts between this and the superego. What is the id?
You are correct.
And I double my money to $8,000. Let's go with languages for 400. Our words alcohol, alfalfa, and algebra come from this language in which al means the. What is... it's either Hebrew or Greek. You know, I'm going to say what is Greek.
Sorry.
Don't!
Not great, boy. Not good.
Does Jane know it? Oh, Arabic!
You are correct.
I was wrong either way. Science 200. Most living organisms have millions, but a prisoner has only one. What is a cell?
You are correct.
Alrighty, science for 400. A 5th century BC Greek philosopher was the first to theorize that all matter is made of these. What are atoms?
You are correct.
Science for 600. Term for creatures like vultures or hermit crabs who eat carcasses and refuse. John. What are scavengers? Of course.
You are correct.
It's back to $100. Parks for 600. Al Pacino's first starring role dealt with panic in a New York City park named this. John rings in. Back in the hole!
Sorry.
Jane rings in. Needle Park. Don't!
You are correct.
Okay, Parks for 800. People voice opinions on everything in London Sneakers Corner in this park. What is Hyde Park?
You are correct.
Parks for 1,000. In 1962, Freddie Cannon had a hit about this now defunct New Jersey amusement park. Jane rings in. Palisades Park.
You are correct.
Never heard of it.
No.
But we're moving on. Conquerors, 200. Spanish for conqueror. Cortez was one. What is a conquistador?
You are correct.
Yes. I'll go with conquerors for 400. This group under Godfrey of Bouillon captured Jerusalem in 1099.
What is for?
Wrong. John rings in. Oh, the Crusaders.
You are correct.
Of course.
I think you didn't ring in.
Languages for 600. He found the other daily double, and I know he's going to wager 1,000. That's all he can wager up to. Let's see the clue. Most people in Gibraltar speak these two languages. They are English and Spanish.
You are correct.
And I know that Gibraltar is between Spain and Morocco, so let's keep going. Science 800. Days and nights are always 12 hours long at this line. What is the equinox? Or is it the equator? Let's just say the equinox.
Sorry.
And I'm wrong.
I'll be wrong.
John rings in. He doesn't know!
Sorry.
And Jane rings in. She doesn't know either!
Sorry.
Is it the equator?
No, the correct
Yep,
response.
it is. Oh well. Science 1000. If you're studying mensuration, you're studying this. John rings in. He doesn't know!
Sorry.
He's back in the hole at minus 900. Jane rings in. Oh, you're studying measurements. Oh, of course, measurements.
You are correct.
Fairfax, 200. In song, Davy Crockett was said to have killed him a bar when he was only this age. What is 3?
Yep, Davy.
You are correct.
I'll go with
Okay. King of the Wild Frontier.
Fairfax for 400. The original Smokey the Bear became a popular attraction at this city's zoo. What is Washington, D.C.?
You are correct.
Fairfax 600. The constellation Ursa Major, meaning the Great Bear, is better known by this name. Oh, Patrick! What is the Big Dipper? Oh, Patrick!
You are correct.
Aubrey. Now you're going in your sewer, Aubrey.
I knew that. Fairfax 800. They are the best swimmers of all bears. What are polar bears? Oh, why me?
You spun it, now go.
Okay.
You are correct.
And I'm now in the 5 figures, 10,400. Fairfax for 1,000. Name of the mascot few Americans got to see at the 1980 Olympics. John rings in. Oh, it's Misha.
You are correct.
So he's back at $100 again.
1980, that's Nisha.
Yeah. Conqueror 600. Once known as Thrace, Bulgaria was first subdued by this Greek in the 4th century BC. John rings in. And he doesn't know! Jane? Oh, Alexander the Great.
You are correct.
Okay, Conqueror's 800. 13th century Mongol ruler of China, whose armada was destroyed by a typhoon. Who is, Who was, Genghis Khan? I have it between Genghis Khan and Kublai Khan. I'm going to say Genghis Khan.
Sorry.
And I'm wrong. No, it isn't, but I am still in the lead. John rings in. Oh, Kublai Khan! I had a choice, I picked the wrong one.
You are correct.
Conquers 1,000. This British conqueror of India committed suicide in 1774.
Who, Pepsi?
Wrong. John rings in, it's Robert Clive.
You are correct.
Language is 800. The great poet Rabindranath Tagore wrote in this language, most common in Bangladesh. What is Hindi?
Sorry.
No.
And it is...
Well, I don't know. I thought it was Hindi. Well, Jane rings in. Oh, Bengali.
You are correct.
Last clue. Revived in modern times, it's the only colloquial speech based on a written language. John rings in. Oh, Hebrew.
You are correct.
So at the end of Double Jeopardy, he's at 2,300. Jane, 5,400. Me, 8,800. Time for Final Jeopardy. Category is potpourri. John?
I'm the father potpourri.
Oh, this is easy. This is pretty easy. I'm going to go all in on this one. The odds are 35 to 1 of throwing a 2 or this other number on a single slice of DOS. What is 12?
You know the correct response?
And I got it right, so I'm going to go up to $17,600. John got it right. He wagered $1,100. Jane got it right. She wagered $2,600. I got it right, so I go up to $17,600. So a run for Jeopardy for the Sega Genesis will occur, in which my one game wins total is $17,600. And hopefully I'll win more in game number 2 when I film and post it soon. And I want to thank Patrick and Crystal for being a part.
Thank you.
As well as Homer. The pleasure's all mine. We'll see y'all for our next video soon.
Roar!